How's it going, guys? Welcome to my first LEGO Star Wars 2019 set review on the Inferno Squad Battle Pack. And the setup for this one is 75226. Recommended ages are 6 and up, and it has piece count of 118, while the price point is $14.99. Now, I personally was not a huge fan of Battlefront 2's campaign at all. It had some great moments, but for the most part, butchered the characters that we came to know in the prequel novel about Inferno Squad, which I thought was excellent. And then they just kind of became one-dimensional and very shallow characters in the actual game, which I thought was a shame. I also didn't mean for that to rhyme, but this set is actually, for the most part, has lived up to my expectations. I do have a few problems with the minifigures that I think are worth pointing out, but overall, this is a good set and one of the best parts of the new and mostly underwhelming and bad winter 2019 LEGO Star Wars wave. So, with all that said, let's get started.
Hello there.
So, Iden Versio, the fantastic lead character of the Battlefront 2 Inferno Squad book, who was a loyal and dedicated and hardcore Imperial Special Forces agent, and then in a couple hours of the actual game's story just became a stereotypical rebel cliche. It was pretty bad and pretty rough after loving that first book so much. Either way, LEGO did an excellent job in portraying her in minifigure form here, giving her the full treatment. As you can see, we do have a brand new printed head, fully matching the likeness to Janina Gavankar, and that looks really great. It's a shame we couldn't get the same for Captain Marvel, but as you can see, we do get a black Padme Amidala hairpiece, the same one from Attack of the Clones used for Iden here, because that is also her exact same hairstyle from the game. And if we go ahead and remove it though, and turn her head around, we do have an alternative facial expression, this one being the more aggressive side, which looks equally as awesome. And then you can see the torso is also pretty great as well, which is pretty accurate looking to her on-screen appearance. And we do even have like a little bit of the red pauldron starting at the top left corner of the torso here, and then extending down and over onto the back of the torso there, and that looks really great as well. Thermal detonator canister and all the appropriate stormtrooper-esque details. And then we do also have a brand new set of printed legs. I believe those legs are new, and if they're not, I promise 10 or 15 comments down below correcting me will definitely suffice. Either way, I really do like how the printing actually starts at the top of the belt piece and extends down onto the centerpiece connecting the legs. I was not expecting that, but that's a really nice touch. And so the leg printing is definitely appreciated, because that's something LEGO could have definitely have just skipped out on easily, but they did include it here for all 4 members of Inferno Squad. And we do even have a stud shooter, of course, included as her primary weapon, and for the primary weapon of all the minifigures in this set, just in a variety of different versions. And so, of course, you just go ahead and push down on the gray lever, and there you go. Stud fires. It's great. What is not great is that Iden did not get her helmet. And I was actually kind of surprised opening this set, because I was looking for a 4th helmet to put on Iden, because I prefer all of them to be wearing their helmets, and I was surprised when it actually was not there. And I understand, they already gave us 3 helmets already with the other members, and Iden doesn't wear her helmet really the entire time in the opening sequences of Battlefront 2, but I still think it would have been really nice to have. So you have to get another one on like eBay or Bricklink, which I think kind of sucks, but either way, still an excellent minifigure, regardless of that. Okay, so this is going to get a little bit confusing from here on out, so try to bear with me as I attempt to explain some of the decisions LEGO made here. But basically, the rest of the Inferno Squad agents, the other 3 minifigures in this battle pack, are simply marketed as Inferno Squad agents by LEGO, and not Gideon Hask or Del Meeko from the game. However, they also appear to be loosely based off of them, because, by the way, of course, we got the brand new Inferno Squad TIE Pilot helmet with the red designs and red lenses and all the details still there, looking fantastic as always. You just got the exposed head still on the back, which I hope would be changed one day. Either way, if we go ahead and remove the helmet, we've got a clone head underneath, and nothing special, just a clone head, right, as LEGO does. However, this kind of does look like Gideon Hask, because then also the torso design is designed to look exactly like his. This is the exact same strap that he has. I mean, this is Gideon Hask's armor printed onto the torso here and on the back. However, then they use the torso again and again for the other 2 minifigures that I'll show you in a moment. However, the next minifigure actually does kind of look like Del Meeko for a certain reason, which I'll show you in a moment as well. So it is a little bit confusing. They're just Inferno Squad agents, but also somewhat clearly loosely based on the actual members of Inferno Squad. I hope some of that made sense. Either way, if we go ahead and put the helmet back on, you can see we've got this giant stud shooter here. It's just a giant rifle, a few pieces with the stud shooter that is actually part of the 1x2 plate here. That's a separate, that's one giant piece. And how stud shooters work, I won't go over it again, but that is actually, that's really it for our Gideon Hask, but not really. Then we get to our next agent, who, like I said, I believe to be Del Meeko, because even though we still have Gideon Hask's torso, like like I just said you would see in a moment. However, Del Meeko does have more pouches on his armor in the game, and while they're not portrayed accurately here, LEGO did seemingly make the effort by including this belt piece here. So that kind of says to me this is Del Meeko, because then you remove the helmet, and while sure you've seen this head countless times, you could argue that this head does kind of look like it was made to be Del Meeko. So to me, the previous minifigure was technically Gideon, and then this one is Del Meeko. It just kind of loosely based off of them. And LEGO just wanted to rehash the torso and wanted to make it so you could get multiples of these minifigures, I guess, or they just didn't want to print unique torsos for everybody, and so they just opted to do this. Either way, that's pretty much the gist of it. And you can see here we've got what I guess kind of is like a stud shooter rocket launcher, I guess. Just a megaphone shoved onto the back of a stud shooter there, so that's great. But other than that, there really isn't anything else going on with this minifigure other than that separate belt piece. And if you haven't seen that belt piece before, here it is detached from the minifigure, so that's pretty great to have here as well. Otherwise, that is really it for who I technically believe to be Del Meeko. And that brings us to our final Inferno Squad agent in this battle pack. And when we first got the pictures of this set, initially I was so excited because I thought LEGO was really paying attention to detail and that they were actually going to include Sen Marana here. She was the fourth member of Inferno Squad who actually did not appear in the game and was never referenced. So anybody who was familiar with Inferno Squad from the game or actually played the campaign wouldn't even know who Sen was, even though she was absolutely the fourth member of the team in the prequel book. And unfortunately, though, I shouldn't expect that much from LEGO, because then we go ahead and remove the helmet and we got Bob. And I was like, God, when I built this set today, I was kind of disappointed because I was hoping for some kind of female face, and I wish that LEGO had done a little bit of research and taken one quick glance at the Wikipedia page for Inferno Squad and seen that there was, in fact, a fourth member of the team, because then they could have just rehashed a quick female face. I mean, why not just throw Black Widow's face on here? There you go, man. We don't actually know what Sen looks like. They never actually gave us a look at her likeness on the cover or anything, so you really could have just thrown any female face here, and you could have considered it to be Sen Marana. But like I said, LEGO didn't pay that close attention, and this head is not included in the set, and like I said, instead we get Bob. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. He's got a stud shooter, by the way, and again, Gideon's torso. So, yeah. So confusing stuff. We got our Inferno Squad, but not really. I mean, I think the torsos can easily be excused. It's really not that big of a deal, and you can swap out the heads with whichever ones you like, and you can throw a female head onto this one and pretend it's Sen Marana very easily. Very easy fixes to really make up your definitive Inferno Squad team here, but ultimately, I thought that it was still worth breaking that stuff down for you guys, and maybe you came away with it knowing a bit more about this set than you might have otherwise. So the build included with the Inferno Squad Battle Pack is apparently, according to LEGO, a TIE Fighter inspired speeder, and I guess I can kind of see it, but if anything, it reminds me of Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator, which is also fine and also doesn't matter because this thing doesn't exist in new canon. It's just made up by LEGO, of course. Either way, this thing is bigger in person than I was expecting, so that's definitely a plus. And there's a little hatch here in the center, which is attached to a couple clips, so if we fold that down, right there you can see we've got a 1x2 available space for any one minifigure of your choosing, which is kind of a shame. I was hoping for 2 spaces, but at the same time, I also don't care. So we take Iden, put her in a seated position, and then place her on top of those 2 studs. She is almost ready to drive the speeder if she would cooperate, and there we go. So we just fold that hatch back over, and as you can see, it's pretty cool, man. And it's also armed to the teeth with aesthetic cannons that aren't actually playability features aside from the 2 on the back wings right here and here. Those are stud shooters, of course, if you didn't notice. And so we'll go ahead and take Hask. Spoiler alert, we'll use him to fire at, and we just go ahead and push down on the gray levers and fire the stud shooters. That one went clear off the studio, never gotten that one back. And so that's really great. And then the other cannons have some limited posability because, they kind of stop right there. But then if you go ahead and fold back the smaller cannons on the back wings just beneath the stud shooters, you can fold those back even further. So if you want to do that stuff for whatever reason and make this thing look really weird, that is an option. But other than that, you've got a set of engines portrayed on the back here by a 1x4 trans blue tile. So that's great. And this set is great. It's really not too bad. as you just saw, the build is pretty cool, especially for battle packs. It definitely could have been worse. This is a really great battle pack and definitely worth considering, especially for $14. I know it's kind of limited right now and kind of tough to come by considering it just came out. I think it's on back order in the US on Lego.com if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think it's available on Target.com either. So definitely keep your eye out in stores and online. I think Walmart.com may have it right now. I don't know. That all obviously might have changed by the time you see the video. Either way, that is it for this set, guys, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the box, the instruction manual, and wrap up this video. So the box, of course, the reason you all buy this set is pretty cool, featuring the Battle of Endor that Inferno Squad took place in off-screen in the movies. And you can see we've also got Vader up in the top right corner, and this whole new design aesthetic for LEGO Star Wars being ushered in for 2019 with tons of white LEGO pieces running throughout the design as a new texture, which is actually really cool, and I feel like should have been done sooner, and I'm kind of hoping LEGO will continue it for future waves. So that's pretty nice. Inferno Squad agent on the top there, sporting the actual size reference, and then the set on the back, and them just kind of like regrouping in the midst of battle and not really reacting to surrounding explosions. So yeah, man, it's great. Everything is great. But wow, LEGO is really pushing this LEGO Life thing. I mean, it's like they're just advertising it everywhere now. Does anyone actually play it? Anyway, this thing, this instruction manual goes for, let's find out together, goes for a whopping 35 pages. Oh man. And then we've also got an advertisement for the rest of the Winter 2019 wave. As I've said before, it has to be the most underwhelming LEGO Star Wars wave, I think, of all time, despite this set and the Praetorian Guard Battle Pack actually being okay. And then we've also got an advertisement for the lineup once again, but this time just featuring the minifigures, if that's all you care about, and those are, you know, the only things you want to look at for some reason. I guess this is LEGO's cheap form of a checklist instead of actually doing the renders this time, so I guess that's okay too. And that's it. We're done.
Hope cannot save them.
Commander Versio, Operation Cinder is commencing. We've been ordered to evacuate all personnel immediately.
What about the civilians?
We're leaving them behind, Commander. Whoa, Aiden, what are you doing?
Subverting expectations, Delmico!
Wait, maybe we can convince your father to change his mind and send down some evac ships.
Nope, we're rebels now.
What? We're Imperial Special Forces. We've been in the Empire all our lives. We can't just kill our own men.
Sorry, can't hear you.
Aiden, stop! Who's writing this? Alright guys, and there you go. That is it for this review. My very first LEGO Star Wars 2019 set review. Thank you so much for sticking around for the whole thing. I so appreciate it. This set is definitely not perfect, but still I think worth picking up. So if you did enjoy the review and maybe found it informative, or if I did help you in deciding whether or not you do plan on picking up the set, definitely let me know by dropping this video a like below and or your opinion down in the comments. Anything you agree with or disagree with, any feedback is always appreciated. And of course, always if I make mistakes. I love always getting buried in about, 100 to 150 comments if I slip up. That's always fun too. But if you do plan on picking up this set when it becomes a bit more readily available, it's kind of scarce right now and hard to come by because it's so new. You can definitely check out my new Amazon affiliate link down below. And if you pick up this set through there, it will definitely help in supporting the channel, and I'd very much appreciate it. So otherwise, I will be posting my brand new Arthur Morgan showcase from Red Dead Redemption 2 very soon here. If it's not going to be the next video, it'll be the video after next, I hope. I'm just trying to balance all the new reviews that I want to do this month while also the Arthur Morgan showcase and getting that out in a reasonable time, and also getting started on the advanced suit from Spider-Man PS4. It's a bunch of different things to juggle, and I really appreciate you guys bearing with me and being so patient. And of course, you can always see progress on my new customs first over on my Patreon if you want to consider supporting the channel there. Otherwise, it's totally fine. I'll be posting previews of all my new minifigures and everything I'm working on over on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, as always, like I say at the end of every video. So that is it, guys. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Of course, it being a TIE fighter, TIE pilot helmet, you just push down on the gray lever and it fires and it's great. So there is that. And if you actually print a brand new so we'll just go ahead and put that. So we'll just go ahead and put So, Aiden Versio is a really great minifigure. LEGO doing a kind of, who cares?